In this video, I'm about to show you guys how I went from zero to making over 6 figures by the age I'm 20 years old. And also recently, I bought an X3 M40i with my own money, literally paid for it all on my own. And not only that, I recently went on vacation to China with my family and I paid for the whole entire flight tickets back and forth, and I think the total was over $8,000. And also I have another business that's currently producing over 6 figures, so just to show you guys that sneaker reselling isn't my only source of income. And the crazy part is that I did all this while being a full-time college student. And the reason why I have to show you guys all these results is to really grab your attention and show you guys that I know what I'm talking about, because I've been doing this for the last 4 years, and at the same time I know what you guys are wondering. You guys are probably wondering, Jimmy, how did you do it? Well, let's get right into it. Alright, so just in case you guys actually didn't know, true story, but I actually started my business with actually $0. So I didn't even have $1 to start out my business with. But I started my business back in 2019, and during that time, I didn't have any intentions or plans of trying to become an entrepreneur, especially selling sneakers. But I've always had a passion with sneakers. I've loved sneakers, but I just didn't have any money to afford it. Because at the time, my goal was to, get a few pairs of sneakers for the personal collection, but I wasn't even trying to resell because I didn't even know this was a thing. And also my mom and dad was only buying me 1 pair of shoes per year, and that's literally it. And also, just as a disclaimer, I'm not trying to play an image that I'm not. I'm not trying to say that I was super down bad, I was from the gutters or anything like that, just so you guys don't comment. But yeah, during the time I was only 15 years old. I was living in an apartment with my parents and also my grandparents, because they not too long ago during that year they came from China, so they were living in the apartments with us, and I was in the same room with my grandparents and also myself, and there's only a desk between us, and the size of the room was like a 4 times 4 times 4 square box. So it was a very small room, tough environment, tough situation. But at the same time, yeah, I met a friend during that time that was already reselling sneakers, and I remember I was thinking about getting a job at Stop and Shop or just getting a job somewhere, but I met a friend, and thankfully I did, and he was already reselling sneakers at the time, and obviously I had no capital to start out with. And when I said that I had $0 to start out with, I literally had $0. So what I did was that I became really good friends with him. I started camping out for him, at 4 a.m 5 a.m. I'm gonna literally put up some clips right here in case you guys didn't believe me. And I was making about $20 to $30 camping out for him. I probably should have got paid more, but I didn't. But it's okay, it's a learning experience, and I'm really grateful for those experiences. But I did that for about a few months until I had a little bit more capital to start going for my own retail releases. Because if you guys didn't know, during like 2019, each retail release that you hit, you were definitely looking at least 150 plus in profit. And during that time, Jordan 1s were going crazy, and I did a lot of in-store drops, and yeah, bots were a big thing back then, but obviously didn't have the money or just the capital to invest into a sneaker bot. But I would have definitely made a lot of money if I got into botting early. But yeah, that's what I did. I camped out, I got a little bit of capital, and then I started going for my own releases online, and I got a little bit of success with that, started making a little bit more money now. And this is like 2019 2020, and I know 2020 is like COVID year, but let's just keep going with the story. So yeah, that's what I did, and then I got a little bit of capital, and I started using OfferUp and Facebook marketplaces to start trading. And I remember during 7th grade, my mom bought me a pair of Jordan 4 Motorsports. I'm gonna put a picture right here. A pair of Jordan 4 Motorsports. I remember it was a size 7 youth, right? So it didn't fit me anymore. So what I did was I sold that pair on OfferUp. Well, I didn't sell it actually. I did a trade, and I traded for a pair of Yeezy foams, like Yeezy foam posits. Yes, I don't know why I did that trade, but I did it anyways. So I did that trade, and it started from there. So I just kept trading, and I traded for a pair that had a higher value, and I just kept doing that. And I was only like 15, 16 years old at the time. And obviously it was very dangerous, just because anyone could have really took advantage of me, and I'm about to get into my story next. But I did that for a decent amount of times, and I remember throughout that year, or just throughout that few months, that was, kind of recycling that process of OfferUp and just retail releases online, just in-store drops, camping out. I was making a decent, I'm not even gonna lie, I was making decent money. Now thinking about it, that was obviously not good money. I was probably making a few $100s throughout those few months. But if you guys really think about it, as a 15, 16-year-old, all I really wanted to buy was food and shoes. So I think that kind of covered everything. So I was really happy. I thought I was the man at the time, and I did that for a while, like I said. But not only until 2020 started, I started going to a lot of sneaker events as well. I attended a bunch of sneaker events. I attended sneaker events literally. So I'm assuming if you guys are watching this, you guys know what Got So is. But back then, it wasn't even Got So. It was called Boston Got So because it was originated from Boston. So I was attending a bunch of Boston Got So events, and at those events, I was vending with my friends, and I was making, you know, a decent money. I would say like few $100s at max. Wasn't really consistent because I was still relying on resale drops, and at the time I did not have Instagram. I wasn't making videos. I was just an OfferUp kid and someone that was in high school, and that was pretty much it. I was a regular kid. So I actually drove to where I actually used to live. I used to live right there, guys, on the first floor of my parents. I used to live right there, and I can't even lie to you guys, coming back here really gives me a lot of flashbacks and just a lot of memories. I remember during that time I had the most drive, I had the most motivation, and I was just so eager to go get it. I was so hungry for it, and I'm still trying to find that level of focus. I'm still really trying to search for that level of dedication once again in my life, because the circumstances and the situation that I was in just really forced myself to really act in certain ways. But yeah, I don't come here too often anymore because I'm in college, and also I'm on the other side of the city. So yeah, just coming back here just really allowed me to see all the memories, and just it's very nostalgic for sure. A lot has changed, but yeah, let's move on to the next location, and then let's talk more. So after my freshman year of high school, I decided to transfer schools, and I came to Modern Catholic. And this is actually a private school, and this is like the first time in my life where I went to a private school. So when I first got to this new high school, I didn't really know too many people, but not so long after, I made my group of friends, and that's when I really started taking my business a little bit more seriously, because the group of friends that I made, we started going for sneaker drops every single Friday. We would go into raffles in Boston, and we were locked in. I'm not even gonna cap. And this is when I started seeing some serious money at the age of 16 or 17 years old, because I remember two drops very specifically. It was the Bread 11s, and then also the Yeezy 350 all blacks, the triple blacks. So they had, I don't know if you guys remember, but for Foot Locker and like Champs and just Foot Action, they used to do head starts, and that's kind of how you enter for these raffles. And it was more fair. Now I know it's a point system, but back then it was more like head starts, where everybody had, where you really had to put the footwork in. You really had to go to the store and just put your head start points in, and you guys can figure that out. I'm not even gonna go explain that, but we did that. And I remember I had like 6 accounts, and my friends also had like multiple accounts on their phone, and I think altogether for in-store we cooked like probably around 30 pairs, and each pair that we copped, we were making like $60 to $80 per pair right after we walked out the store. So like that was pretty good money. And then the Bread 11s, same exact thing. We rinse and repeat the process. We have multiple accounts on our phone, and we copped like probably like 25 plus pairs, and I was doing like pre-orders at the time. That's like when I first got on Instagram, and I wasn't big at the time at all. I had like 200 followers, and I was just posting whatever I had, but still majority of my customers and majority of my sales were coming from OfferUp, just because those were the apps I was utilizing heavily. At the same time, it wasn't safe, but only until I did this one meetup with this guy. It was for like a Carmine, I think it was for Carmine 6 or just Infra 6. No, it was for Hair 7s. It was for Jordan 7 hairs, right? That's the shoe where I got robbed. So I got robbed at a parking lot for $120. So after that one incident, I never gone OfferUp ever again, because I just realized, and during the time when I was super young and I was just trying to make money, I didn't really see how dangerous it could be. I didn't really see how life-threatening those situations could be, because like you guys see all the stories, like the news of like people getting shot over sneakers, people getting shot over camping out outside in lines. And I figured that, that was not worth it. It was not worth it. So I really transitioned and started doing Instagram mainly. But not long after, my business was actually doing pretty well from doing all these like in-store releases with my friends and just making money from there. But for that year, when I transferred to this school, I think I made a few $1,000s for that year. But not long until then, COVID hit. So when COVID hit, I stopped reselling sneakers for about 8 months. And throughout that period of time, I'm not really gonna get too deep into it, but I went through a very like serious depression phase where I didn't want to really even go outside. I didn't even want to go outside anymore. I mean, neither could I go outside anyways, but like I went through a very dark phase of my life. I was playing video games every single day. I was not in shape. I was like, literally, I was talking about like 10-hour days, like playing video games on my chair. Like my back literally hurts from that still. Yeah, I was not in shape. I'd stopped reselling shoes. I had no money. You know, I made all the money I made. It literally went to games or I just lost all my progress. So like after that period of time, after like the depression phase, one of my friend, like very close friend to me, he was like, Jimmy, why did you stop reselling shoes? And that kind of made me realize like, wow, why did I stop? Why am I doing what I'm like? It kind of made me realize how lazy I was being. And if I was going down in that path of just like playing video games every single day in my house, not going anywhere, not talking to any of my friends, not socializing, I was not gonna head to a bright place in life. So it kind of just hit me a lot from what he said. And after that conversation, I went ham again on sneaker reselling. I started Instagram. I started documenting my journey on TikTok. That's when like day in the lives really started. So you guys actually know, if you guys are OG, that's when like day in the lives on TikTok really started. I was posting every single day, guys. I was the most consistent ever. And that time I moved my house again. So I moved to the projects. That's when I moved to the projects. So I'm about to show you guys, I'm about to go to the projects right now where I used to live and show you guys and continue my story. So I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I used to live on the left side, and I lived there from my freshman year of high school all the way to my senior year of high school. So I lived there for like 4 good years, man. And obviously, living there definitely brought a lot of memories as well. But yeah, I remember throughout that time, I was barely letting anyone come over because I was not trying to show people where I live. But I lived there for 4 years. Now looking back, that was definitely like the toughest moment of my life, because that was like that depression phase. I also went through it here. I'll never forget where I came from, and I'm not ashamed from it. And now obviously I'm 20 years old. I've experienced a decent amount. I'm not gonna lie. I travel a lot, and I also went through the good and the bad times. And I feel like that's what entrepreneurship is really a way of, it's a lifestyle. It's really just a lifestyle. It's not about, you know, the little strategies or just like the business methods. I mean, it's about that, but that comes after. When you really want to change, it comes within. And I'm really proud of myself for making that pivot. And I'm really proud of myself for just trying every single day. And I remember once I moved here, and right after like that depression phase, when my friends started telling me to lock in again, I decided I really wanted to lock in. I wanted better for my life. So I remember like 2 months after I really came back to reselling sneakers, I hit my first 1,000 followers. And then soon after that, I did like a story sale for like December, and then that's where I started making more like serious money. I remember throughout that year, for junior year, I think I made over $10,000 for that year. And then the year after that, for my senior year, I took it even more serious. I took my business very serious. I started working almost every single day. I skipped all the parties. I skipped hanging out with my friends just to come back home just to work more. Yeah, I locked in with my grades as well. Like my grades in school was really good. I had like a 3.8 GPA in high school. I went to now I'm in a really good college as well. All the work that I put in really got me to where I am now. So it's not by just working like here and there, it's by working every single day, because it's consistency that builds results. And success is always a lagging indicator. It might not reflect immediately. The results might not come like a week or 2 or just a month or just even a year after working hard. It comes from working every single day. So from junior year to the end of senior year of my high school, I probably made the biggest change and also probably the biggest pivot of my life and also my business at the same time. So it really comes to show you guys that all you really need is 365 days of locking in every single day. So ever since then, I changed my mindset. I feel like I'm a whole different person. I changed for the better, honestly. And let me tell you guys this, by the end of that year, I made over 6 figures. I made over 6 figures for that year. By the age I was 18, I did it. All right, guys, so let's just fast forward to today. Obviously, we're in 2024 now, and I started my business during 2019. So it's been 5 full years. I just gave you guys a timeline throughout my last 5 years. And now, like when I look at my business, it's not so much as a hobby anymore. It's more as a job, kind of, as much as I hate to say it. Like I said throughout this video, I'm still trying to find that love or that passion or just that enjoyment or just that satisfaction that the business gave me when I first started. And this initially. But I mean, now I'm very appreciative and I'm very grateful for all the adversities I went through, the good and the bad, because that's what really got me to where I am now. Obviously, I have Startpreneurs now, I have a course, I resell sneakers, and also another huge thing that I'm currently focusing on is content, trying to give you guys the best content possible. But yeah, I'm only 20 years old, guys, and also when I first started college, I had a lot of difficulties balancing school and also the business at the same time, and that's something that I talked about a lot. You guys can definitely find some of the day in the lives throughout my old videos on my YouTube channel that yeah, I posted. I really documented my whole entire journey almost. I really documented my whole entire journey to show you guys that it's possible to go from $0 to $100,000. And obviously now I'm making well over 5 figures every single month, but it's not so much about the money. But even when I was recording this video, it's so much about the journey and the process. It's not so much about the end results, because I'm nowhere close to where I want to be, but it's about the process. It's about seeing small improvements from day to day, from week to week, from month to month, and from year to year. So I mean, throughout this whole entire video, if there's nothing that you took away, I just want you guys to take away this one thing, is to never quit. To really look at my journey as kind of, just hope you guys can look at this journey as inspiration, because I started from nothing, guys. I really started from nothing. So it's possible if you just really put in the work, if you just never quit, if you just stay consistent, if you just say what you're gonna do, you're gonna be able to do it. But you gotta really want to do it within first. You guys gotta have a very strong reason not to quit, and I have that reason because of those tough moments, because of my tough family situations, and that really pushed me. It really pushed me to become better, because not only that I want a better life for myself, but I want to provide a better lifestyle for both my parents and also the friends around me. So don't make the reason just for yourself, but make it for the people around you and the people who love you. But yeah, it's been your boy Jimmy. I have all summer to film these type of videos to give you guys motivation, and also just to continue excelling within my business. I want to definitely bring you guys the best content possible. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next.